Bow combination number 10 is a little bit lengthy, but the good news is it combines moves of drills of prior combinations, just putting them together basically. There's just one or two new moves put in, but it's connecting a couple of combinations basically together. This one is also a little bit different in that it may start pointing north, but the majority of things here go east and west. My moves go side to side, and it'll change my orientation from pointing my belly here toward the north at some point to pointing my belly toward the south. So bear with me, I'll show you from a couple of different angles here. And this is all be typed out for you, you can check it out in writing if that helps you, make it a little bit easier, but we're going to get plenty of repetition in class built up before we work on this one by itself. We'll make sure we have the prior combinations working pretty well and strong before this. Starting, let's say facing north, facing one direction, right foot's in front in a back stance, right hand's in charge, that one's in front at the top of the bow here, and the tip of my bow is pointing right toward my opponent's head. First move has me stepping my right foot back and over to the side, so toward my east, right? To where my back is pointed right now. I hear a noise over here, hear somebody coming at me, I'll look over that way, I'll step my right foot over and do a reverse strike in a front stance. Okay? From here then, I've got somebody else coming from the other direction, and I've got to go get them. This is the two-step turn with the helicopter strike. The helicopter strike we practiced in class, and we might have done in videos before, and the easiest way to practice this is with your palm pointed down at the beginning, and at the end. That's nice. That puts the strike part happening about rib level too. Well, for this strike in our form, as we're going to learn it, we're going to have to rotate that palm pointed up. So now that helps us that makes us have to cradle the bow a little bit on the inside of our elbow and toward our back to bring the tip of it eye level and even with it. So here's the start again. First few moves, starting in a back stance. Right foot's forward. Take that right foot, turn it over to your right side because you hear a noise over there. Step over into a front stance, reverse strike. Then you hear something else behind you, you're going to attack him. As you do that, there's your two-step turn. So your right foot does the first step as you start the helicopter strike and you catch it with the other hand. Left foot finishes that strike in a horse stance, head level. There's the first three moves of it. From here, this is where everything starts turning and pointing toward the back. I'll grab with my right hand, pull the bow in a little bit toward my hip so I can get more toward the end of the bow here. Grab with my right hand, step my left foot back over here toward my east in a horse stance. And now I've got 4 thrusts I'm going to do, staying in this horse stance basically. The first 2 go low to my left, high to my right. The third one goes middle to my left, and as I shift to the right to do my 4th middle, I'll make kind of a makeshift front stance pointing the other way. I'm going to shift my hips away from that thrust. So real quick, we got just a couple moves left. One more time from the beginning, so far to there. From your right foot forward back stance, step your right foot over to your right, reverse strike. Starting with that right foot, 2-step turn, where your back is pointing right now to your west, helicopter strike, move. Pull it into your belt, grab with that right hand. Take your left foot and turn like you're kind of doing a spin kick. You're going to turn over that back shoulder. When you land that foot down in a horse stance, low thrust, high thrust, mid, mid. Okay, from there, this is where we combine one of the earlier ones. I can't remember if it's 8 or what. But now you just step that left foot forward toward this person you just thrust. 1, 2 side strikes in that back stance. Spin reverse strike in the front. That's pretty much the last move. After that spin reverse strike, the last thing you're going to do, and it's kind of weird for me to do this way, I'll switch my orientation real quick. Let's say I went here and did the spin reverse strike here as my last move. The last thing that's going to happen, this is part of why we're practicing this because I want to get used to it for my form, is I want to drop the front tip of that bow, make it parallel with my thigh here, with my leg. As I'm doing that, this hand that was holding it up underneath comes out here to scan in front. Both of those moves slow motion. So I finished fast motion here, Slow motion as I breathe out slow, here. Scanning in front of me. Notice I say the twist to the end. So just like my normal Taekwondo moves, I don't bring a hand straight across my body. Part of the twist is in the power, even on the slow moves as we do them. And you should be seeing this more in your form since you got more slow motion moves at a black belt level. You should be seeing that. Still want to show that good technique at the end of twisting and finishing the move at the same time. So this hand finishes as this hand finishes its deal. So let's try it from a different orientation. I'll try it from pointed this way, I guess, and you'll see how we go side to side. So with my right foot in front, right hand in charge, I'll step that right foot over to my right, which is east if I'm looking north here. Step, reverse strike. Two-step turn as I do my spin, helicopter strike, where I'll land in a horse stance, head level. Then pull that in so I can grab with the right end. Left leg steps back behind me and makes a horse stance. Now my belly's pointed the opposite way. Thrust low, high, mid, mid. On that last middle one, I'm shifting my weight away from there, basically turning my toes a little bit toward a corner, okay, toward the angle here, 45-degree angle, and making a makeshift front stance. From here, step that left foot forward in the direction you're already looking, side to side, and that becomes that back stance we talked about in that previous combination. Then spin, overhead strike. So if I'm striking here toward my west, if that was my original north, I went east and now I'm striking west, my last thing of this makes me look south. Okay, so I strike here, and then as I'm dropping it, I'm looking to see where my next target is, who's next in line, who wants more of this, and I'm looking toward the south. So please have them practice that. In the form, this is all going to be right side in front, but for classroom practice, and the reason I want to make this a combination that we practice is because I want to practice both sides, left side and right side in charge. So that means if I'm starting facing north here with my left foot in front, then my left foot steps to my left, which becomes west. There's my reverse strike. Left foot starts the two-step turn, I'm going to my east. 1, 2, for my spin overhead, spin helicopter strike. From here, I'll pull that in, left hand reaches out to grab, and my right foot will step back behind me, pointing my belly south, low, high, mid, mid. Step forward with that right, side, side, spin, reverse strike, and then scan. Okay, so my belly ends up pointing the same south on the same moves that I would have done with my right side, but the difference now is I'm starting to my left instead of starting to my right. So please let them practice that both sides at home. That is bow combination number 10.